Hello, James here. How y'all doing tonight? Um, I'm doing pretty good. I got something. I'm gonna come back to a lighter topic. Kind of funny. I've talked about Dr. Umar, right? Umar Johnson, and he's getting some recognition for his views. He's supposed to be a pro-black person, right? Because I'm gonna show you this one video, and this guy pointed something out, and he talks about children, issues and social issues, and one of the things stand out. I'm gonna play this guy's name is Black Palumbo, and this is what he got to say about Dr. Umar. And he was saying
Building
how
and protecting wealth is more daunting
people
than ever. Amid global market
and
volatility, stock
Umar
market loss.
Johnson's
No interracial relationship is acceptable because we have too many black women who are unmarried. Black women are the largest population on the planet Earth. If you can't find one in America, get it from Africa.
Hey guys, I hope you're ready to lose a few brain cells with me. Today we're reacting to an interview that Dr. Umar Johnson, a psychologist and speaker, did on The Breakfast Club, this hugely popular radio show hosted by Charlamagne the God. In this interview, Dr. Johnson actually railed against interracial marriage. Yes, seriously. But before we dive in, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Brad Palumbo, a libertarian conservative political commentator and content creator. Consider subscribing to this channel, joining us, and sticking around. But now let's dive in. Listen to this clip between Charlamagne and Dr. Johnson.
I want to ask you something, Dr. Umar, for you. Have you ever seen an interracial relationship that was acceptable to you?
No interracial relationship is acceptable because we have too many black women who are unmarried. Black women are the largest population on the planet Earth. If you can't find one in America, get it from Africa. If you can't get it from Africa, go to the Caribbean, go to Canada, go to Europe. Why would a black man need to copulate, build a family with anything other than a black woman when you have so many black women available? It is an exercise in self-hatred. There's no way to get around it.
So when I first saw this, my mind was kind of blown that this could actually still be a take by anyone in 2022, let alone a black person. But here we are, I guess. And he's not some fringe wingnut. Dr. Johnson has almost 1 million Instagram followers, and his interview on The Breakfast Club has more than 1 million views. This guy's ideas are getting out there, and that's a problem because they're batshit. I would humbly suggest that the reason that a black man might marry a white woman is, love, that she's the right person for him, that they have chemistry, that they connected, that they share values. Why should the pigment of their skin hold them back from that? It's particularly absurd that he actually suggests black men should import a wife from Africa rather than marry a white woman. They would have no shared culture. They probably wouldn't even share a language. Yet you should bring some complete stranger into your life rather than marry somebody who you've connected with, who you love, just because of the color of their skin. What? This is a good example of what we call in politics horseshoe theory. When you go too far to either extreme, in this case race politics far to the left, you end up finding yourself meeting in the middle with the other extreme. Frankly, the Ku Klux Klan and literal white nationalists would love everything Dr. Johnson is saying in this clip. Now that should be a sign that you've gone horribly astray. In case any of you still need convincing, let me roll you this clip from CBS News about this one couple that I think really embodies why interracial marriage is actually a huge sign of progress.
Friends introduced Carlos Brock to Tanya Bohannon in 1996. They both just knew.
Oh man, it was just something about her, the vibe that she put out. I was like, that's what I want to marry.
He was really nice. He was different than anybody that I had ever dated before. He was just very genuine and kind.
The Brocks married in 2000 with their daughter Lexi in the wedding party.
It was just about being happy with each other.
Now, I don't look at their story and see self-hatred or betrayal. I see love and social harmony. I think that's something that should be celebrated, that we should want more people to be free to love and bond with whoever they want, regardless of the color of their skin. But apparently some extremists out there, like Dr. Johnson, still think otherwise. Then again, it could just be a grift, to be honest with you. According to AllAmericanSpeakers.com, Dr. Johnson charges $5,000 to $10,000 per speaking engagement, even for virtual events. He seems to have built an entire career and brand for himself around this kind of divisive hate mongering. And apparently it's a lucrative one. but that doesn't make it any less morally disgusting. Thankfully though, most folks aren't buying it. According to Gallup, 94% of Americans now support interracial marriage, the highest it's ever been. Just in the last few decades, we've seen tremendous progress. To me, this is all a sign that we're moving forward as a society, not backwards. Alright guys, that's probably about all the attention that this deserves. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, comment and let me know what you think, especially if you disagree with me. I want to know why,
And I'm going to show you another video. You heard that video? What Dr. Umar Johnson said, and his strong opinion about it, right? Okay. You say, wow, he's a straight up Pan-Africanist, but check out the Celebrity Junks channel. What O'Shea Duke Jackson got to say about this.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Recently, Dr. Umar Johnson appeared on The Breakfast Club, and after that, as you know, him and Charlamagne the God are cool. He was on another show, all right? I think it's called Hell on Wheels or something like that. Charlamagne the God is affiliated with a lot of different podcasts and things that he participates in. So that's probably how Dr. Umar got there. Okay? And a question was asked about Dr. Umar's marital situation. Okay? I would like to play that right now, and then I'm going to come back and we'll talk about it.
Dr. Umar, it's rumored that you have more than one wife. I don't know if that's true or not.
I've never been married,
Oh, okay. That wasn't.
but I will have 2 queens.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So is polygamy more realistic?
I think we have to understand that monogamy is not natural to alpha males. This is not only
I'm baiting
true.
it.
That's when you lost me there, man.
This is not only true amongst human beings, even within the animal kingdom.
Okay.
The alphas tend to have more than one spouse. And if you also look at women, as much as they may chide polygyny, many women will date an alpha male with another woman if she's attracted to him. Just look at the amount of women who date married men, but at the same time say they're against plural marriage.
Whenever a dude quotes the animal kingdom when he's talking about sex, that dude's
All right, so you heard what he had to say there. Okay? Dr. Umar says he is an alpha male. So because he is an alpha male, he either deserves to have more than one woman, or that's how it always is, even in the animal kingdom, right? And I love how people, when things fit their narratives, they can talk about mammals or reptiles, things that, you know, really don't make any sense sometimes, but I get there some similarities. Instead of just coming out and saying, you know what, I don't want to be faithful to somebody. It's a personal choice. I just don't want to be tied down because, you know, I have kids by different women in Philadelphia. I'm looking at you, Dr. Umar. And you know what? I'm not man enough to be married to any of them. Although I come on my platform every day talking about how, you know, people are supposed to take care of their kids as a school psychologist, but I don't take care of mine. You know, I can tell black people how to raise their kids, even though I'm not even with none of my baby mamas, and I probably don't pay no child support or take care of my kids. And I've never been married, although I'm always telling people how they should raise their kids. Fine. Got it. But now, Dr. Umar, Brother Umar, and again, I agree with most of the stuff that you teach, brother. Because we both pro-black. And I don't have a problem with what you teach, because what you teach as a theory makes a lot of sense to me. You're not lying about what you're saying when you talk about what you talk about. You're not going to have no problem from me when you say those things. Not me, at least. Some other folks, maybe. Me, no. Here's where you're gonna lose them. And other brothers. Not that you care. Let me say it like you would say it. Not that you care, Umar. Not that you care, Umar. Not that you care. You know, I had to give a shout out to you, right? But when you start saying things like referring to yourself as an alpha male, when you say you're an alpha male, now we gotta put that to the test, brother. Because what you're saying is you're an alpha male. And let me just deal with people like him. Because it's a great many brothers out there in the community who feel as they're alpha males, such that you're alpha. Then my question, is, what is an alpha male? Alpha male typically is a leader of any male group. He's a top performing man. He galvanizes and leads men. He's typically the best in professional situations. That doesn't equate to a man that is charismatic with a big mouth. See, that's how the black community views alpha males.
Yeah.
We view alpha males as the person who can stir the crowd.
Yeah.
Circa
Yes.
Eddie Long, anybody?
Yes.
Or Jamal Harrison Bryant, anybody? Because they have the biggest mouths. And they can make the most sense what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of talking a lot, they don't do nothing. That's alpha male. That's in the black community.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why other groups make people do something before you be called an alpha male. In the Hispanic community, can't be no alpha male with a big mouth like Dr. Umar, or a history of not producing anything. No, because they're going to get your ass out the community. Dr. Umar can only survive in the black community when you have low standards for your leaders. But now in somebody else's community, you actually have to do something to be a leader, to be an alpha male. And you have to be a producer. You cannot be a failure in being alpha male. Only in black America does that work. Or autocratic African dictatorships does that work. Where you don't have to do nothing for the group you're talking about, and then you can be a leader. Now, alpha male. Alpha male for what? What systems do these so-called alpha males in black America that are domineering and have a lot of opinions and want to give imaginary 50,000 lashes to folks, what do you have outside of opinions? And see, that's why I don't go around trying to call myself an alpha or any of that kind of stuff. If you're a person that produces, people gonna see it.
Mm-hmm.
If you bring infrastructure, people gonna see it.
Exactly.
The problem is with Umar, he don't bring nothing. But you want to be called an alpha. Alphas do their talking with their work, brother. And that's something that you're going to see a lot of black men, and this is not, and I hate to say this, some of the best black men that I know ain't the most charismatic people. They don't waste their time talking nonsense either, though. Because when you hear them talking, they speak with their results. You see, that's what they do. They speak with results. What they do, you see it. All right? Unfortunately, the black community ain't moved by people like that, though. We're moved by people who don't do nothing, don't provide any resources, don't do any intellectual heavy lifting. And that's a lot of pastors in the black community, too. Because a lot of pastors in the black community, they can get up there and hoop you to death every Sunday. can get up there. I mean, you get them 3 or 4 mics like Reverend Leo Daniels back in the day. They can hoop you to death. And then what they can also can do is sleep with all the women in the church too. They good at that. Oh yes. Hoop you to death. Jesus is coming back and whooping this, that, and the other. They sure can. And in the church administration, after they get through breathing, hooping, and hollering, and getting throat problems, they can't do a goddamn thing Monday through Saturday in the church. Outside of beg for donations and drive Cadillacs and have a nice house and nice suits. But other than that, they don't do nothing but run their mouth. Don't want to work. Ain't trying to work. Y'all don't hear me. I'm sounding just like y'all, huh? You don't produce anything that you're talking about, but you're an alpha male. In the black community, an alpha male is somebody who's a loser. If you let Umar tell it. If you let Umar tell it, an alpha male don't gotta do nothing. Nothing. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Dick Jackson, back at it again.
I just want to know. It sounds like to me he picks up just like Kanye. He just says something controversial, and that's what he did on the Breakfast Club. He just wanted to be controversial, so he gets controversial, and he probably get outdated stuff about, psychiatry work and colleges, because the real ones out there can probably see that he's talking something that's outdated, and it's just, man, the one guy made a point, but it's just something that other people started to pick up what he say, and that's how he says something outlandish, and he give you material to talk about. Then he talk about people like a dog, and then when someone talk about him, he calls them out the name and calls them, some schoolyard name. But I just don't understand. What's with the front? And I mean, we there's people calling, and it's okay if you find another woman of a different race attractive. Even he does. It even caught him in the one video that he trying to say hi honey and be flirtatious with the white female at the table. And he probably don't tell you that, but he probably do. Some people go so hard, but soon as some white female smile at him or whatever, oh yeah, and she's very attractive, he would. He's talk with all this exterior and everything, and people fall for it. There's some black people that fall for it, but he sound like a fool. I'm just saying. He'll give you half a truth that sound like it's something very true, but when you sit down and really listen to him, it's like, wow, like, are you for real? And that's what it kind of remind me of, like Kanye. Just say something outrageous and go on some talk show and just talk crazy stuff, and people are just like, and then some people is silly enough to follow it and believe it instead of using really the logical sense. You have a man here that talks about building an institution, and everybody that made videos that he got a building. he has a building in Wilmington, Delaware, that is toxic, and it has environmental problems. They gave him people gave money. Check this out. Since 2000, he kept on putting it and making videos. So finally, about 3 or 4 years ago, He finally gets the building, and the toilets are jacked up, and he's plumbing, and he's electrical all through the building, and there's a whole lot of other work. Then it's in a high crime area, one of the highest crime areas in the country. And then people been, all he does is say, we about that. So he does all these book tours, right? And I don't know, some people say that they read the book, and some experts say that some of it, the information from what I've heard from certain people, is outdated. It is information, and it's just something, a couple other things was off. Then the thing he do, he's just a conjure. He likes the attention. He just don't want to scream and holler. And like O'Shea said, it's been going on. But what's really amazing is the people that keep sending him money. And he said, we got to get the school up and running. We got to get the school up and running. You got black people that support him that think that off of donations, you can keep running the school. And then there was people that point out he owed taxes every year on it, like it's over $100,000 in taxes. You gotta have insurance on the building. You definitely have to get the building up to code. You have to get the water, sewage system and all of that up to code, and you got to get make sure it's no mold and asbestos, anything. And he hasn't pretty much done. He done, and then when they show doing the gym. Out of a whole building, he's doing the gym and he put in a couple little bathrooms. And it's been going on. Then he finally, some people had to shame him and have to clown on him until he finally got some kind of unit. And then he started bragging, "Oh, we're popping now, we're popping now," but he really think in his mind that just donations. And here's the silly part: people is donating. He's using it as a crutch that he's gonna build this nation up for black boys and black. And it's amazing. And he keeps coming and coming and coming. And then when he probably goes to a lecture, he wants you to donate to the school. So basically, you donate to outdated information, and you just basically giving someone who give you half truth, but really don't give you no solution. And then you got like any field, you have to upgrade. Let's figure out what personalities is going on to this day. So you can tell he don't really stay up on the latest thing when it comes to those professions of psychiatry and sociologists and them other ones, because they have to keep up and learn what to deal with the child, dealing with children, the personality. His stuff is so updated, so you haven't updated it. And you probably need some up to date in order to be, probably by the state too and county. Even if you're a Pan-Africanist, but you're still in the United States, when it comes to rules in the county and state, you still operate if it's non-profit or whatever, however it is, you still have to abide by the rules. And it's just, and then the thing about the interracial dating, he don't even follow himself. How can a man tell you something like that when he don't have a wife himself? He can't be in a committed relationship himself. I'm just curious how it's amazing how people can tell you what you should do about what kind of woman you should pick with, but he don't practice what he preach. How can someone tell you something and when they don't live by their own example? And then, like what O'Shea said, he got children that is questionable. Does he take care of his own children? Does he take care and see them and spend time with them? and being part of their life, or he's just about the show. And the reason why it involves with that is people lead by example. So if if he don't really pay attention to his own kids, what makes you think he's going to really care about your kids? And take it to the fact, and then if you really care about kids, why, with all the environmental toxic stuff on the property, why would you buy a building in that area, for one? Two, a couple of people did the background out and said that it's really, they had to move it because it's toxin and things on the ground. So there's a possibility they can have, if the children started going into the building, it could be some kind of mold, asbestos, or whatever stuff is going on. But he's trying to make that into a Pan-African national, international building on some environmental ground. Please make it make sense. How is that you're going to do that? And then the crazy thing about this, people, they support, yeah, and you can tell that people ain't really supporting, they're not really using their brain. So, and it's like what O'Shea said, that's true about black people. They just go on some black people, they just go on emotions. They don't think with logic. And then the people that critique that and show that, hey, there's no way, oh, you just hating. No, you can't run the school like this. You can't run a whole school. Then he wants to feel like he don't have no staff. There's nobody that want to work. Probably don't want to work with him. Probably because he got this personality. This personality. He don't. That probably he wouldn't pay people, and then the other thing about it is, when it was coming to happen, people offered to help him fix up the building for free. He said, because he kept on saying, ain't no black people don't want to work with you. I can't find no black contractors. So some black contractors contacted him. He didn't get back a hold of them. And I saw this on Lennon Honor's channel that the man had a letter, had his email saying, hey brother, let me know. You go and get the schematics of the building, and the company would give them time off to come down there, and they bring the crew down and start hooking things up. Umar didn't get back to him. This was a black contract. It was a black electrician. But this is what he tell you, that black folks don't want to come together. He say one thing and he try to guilt shame another. And it's crazy that people really follow this guy, man. I mean, seriously, he telling you his side story instead of seeing the whole story. And it's really crazy that people keep giving them money for a building that's environmentally safe. That is in the most worst crime in the neighborhood in Delaware. And probably give them some outdated information on child development and personality. And I mean, he says the most outlandish stuff. It's been recorded, and then he's flip-floppy all over the place. He's vulgar. He's vague. He's what's that, vulgar? Vague. Can't even say the word. He's just foul. just a foul person. And I did videos on in the past, my part showing, but the guy is just like, man, it's just amazing how some people, and it's like what Information Man said. There's one guy named Information Man. Black people do look for a messiah figure. We do. Anybody like O'Shea said, that talk with charisma and just love what way they talk, but they don't produce nothing. That's true. Some black people caught up with that, with all that yelling and aggressiveness, talking loud and just vile and foul, and it's entertaining. But at the same time, when it comes to business, people when someone who don't do that, like you said, don't have the charisma, but really they're about that work, and in reality, with boots on the ground, black people don't support them. Some black people don't support them. The main ones. They go for someone that just do a lot of talking and not a lot of instead of find somebody rational. But that's something how even that guy spoke on, the first guy, Brian. Yeah, that's true. I mean, people going to find who it is, what it is, who they're gonna love, and why is, like I said, how is he? Why, like the question, why is he not with the woman? But you're telling other people get him a black woman, but you're not with the black woman. Was he be one of the guys that get with any black woman, just get and spread babies all over the place? You see, he's probably one of the guys that want to do that. That want it, and then he'll have 1, 2, and then go on to the next woman, and probably one of those people that be making more babies. Because that's what he want. That's what he just want the lust after. Then when you talk, you can tell how the way he talked about pulling out even for politics and saying cookies and things like that. I mean, some of the stuff he would say in the past, like, I can't believe this man just say that. And he just have no filter. He has no filter, and it's crazy that some people really take him seriously. I mean, I heard a lot of black professionals and Pan-Africanists and scholars, and I've never heard, they never got to that extreme. They ain't always online talking crap. If they talk about something in that department, it's very from an intelligent standpoint of view, and they sound like they're very solid. This guy's all over the place. I see why that they kind of had to get rid of him at the time. They asked him, they had to let him go. He's probably was doing some off the wall stuff that was probably breaking all the rules, county rules. And so, yeah, people will follow anybody. But it's just unbelievable, man, that people give him money for that stuff. But hey, some people pay for foolish things, right? But it's just, like, well, I can't believe somebody talk like that. And it's like one minute, some people go on some podcast and it sounds like he's really talking like a professional. Next minute, it's like he's talking crazy. You get him on his personal live, in which people record him on his personal time, and as a personal business, he let his true nature come out. I don't know what to say. But I'm going to end this pretty soon in this video, but yeah, some people are just there's some character. I guess now you just say something for shock value, and that really it gets some attention. I think that's what it is. What do you guys think? Because it's like, wow, some people really, and then they'll actually follow and keep giving money to someone like that, and thinking that they really that take almost a decade, and go into another year, because the school ain't really complete. It's going to another year. People still give the money for the school that is taking almost going on 12 years to build a school, that think that they're going to run a school off with donations, and asking the public and all the people that come to his channel, send me, make a PayPal, and things like that. Send your dollar sign, send your money. It's a hustle, man. He's like a marketer. But it's, and someone had to make him give it up just to buy some of that building, but they ain't gonna probably spend no more in that building. And eventually you're gonna probably lose it. All than people because look at the taxes on it, the insurance. He ain't gonna be able to make. That's what's crazy about it, man. It's like there's some people that's like, wow. There's some people in that probably thinking in that community is just they ain't wrapped too tight. But when you follow somebody like that, I can see why somebody would think you ain't wrapped too tight. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to point that out. This was something that it was really intriguing to find out. But hey, if people still believe and still keep giving money to next year and keep waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, hell, half the kids is all the time that he started. Most of those kids, those boys are grown now. So most of the boys are grown. They're going to college. So when he started, he was probably in elementary school. That's how long it took. And he still ain't done with it. But yeah. But hey, if they want to, what can you do? You know, it is what, like, it is like the guy, like David Carroll said, at the end of the day, it is what it is. But like what my saying goes, what you see is what you get on these in these YouTube streets and in these social media. You. So till next time, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a good evening, good day, or wherever you're at. And yeah, watch who you follow, and it just gets